And then just say, welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're really excited to share with you our Uniting for Impact, the National Service Learning Conference and the Points of Light Conference. My name is Amy Muirs. I'm the CEO of NYLC. And Beth, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Beth Pan, and I am the Senior Vice President of External Affairs at Points of Light.
Well, we are so excited to have everyone with us today to have this great discussion about why these two organizations are coming together. We have a lot to cover in 30 minutes. We're going to talk about why we're doing this, what you can expect on site at this combined event. And so let's just kind of jump in. I think the most important part for everyone to know is that we're going to be in Washington, D.C., June 22nd through the 25th of 2026. NYLC and the Points of Light are uniting for one amazing event. I want to touch just a little bit on why I think that this is such an important moment. The National Service Learning Conference, we have educators, practitioners, young people who come together to really explore like that intersection between service and volunteering and academic and youth growth, youth outcomes. And at the Points of Light, it's the volunteers, the nonprofit leaders, global change makers, where they're looking at advancing civic action on a global scale. And so each of these conferences are really vital. They're both very transformative for attendees. And when I think about coming together, I think about this bold moment, this opportunity to really take two amazingly powerful events and create one transformational platform. It can be, I think about this as a catalyst for really advancing civic engagement. It's positioning young people as leaders. We always talk about young people as leaders today, not tomorrow, not someday in the future. And by bringing the National Service Learning Conference and uniting with Points of Light and their conference, it really, I think, sets the stage to transform the sector and infuse the ideas, the energy, the lived experiences of young people and the social action and community impact they want to make into the larger sector. And it's really about having a shared mission and vision for this future. And so, Beth, I want to turn it over to you too to share a little bit from Points of Light view why you saw this as an opportunity.
Well, thanks, Amy. It's very intentional. We believe that youth leaders are co-creators in the sector. You all are not waiting to lead, you're leading right now. And by uniting these two conferences, we are wanting to elevate your voice and elevate the ideas, the solutions, the work that you're already leading and doing. And I think, there's a great opportunity for this intergenerational leadership that can happen at Points of Light, from our big stage to workshops to networking opportunities. There's just lots of opportunity for your voice to be valued, heard, and seen throughout the conference experience.
Yeah, and I'm so excited about really, I think what you just said, Beth. Oh, what you just said, Beth, and what it really looks like for each of us. I
It's
mean,
okay, come
for
on. Yeah, yeah, you're good.
educators, we can connect to class. They can connect to classroom theory to real world impact, learning alongside volunteer coordinators who are mobilizing thousands of volunteers. We can think about the nonprofit leaders who are tackling community challenges and how they can collaborate with corporate social responsibility professionals who are driving employee engagement. And of course, our youth change makers whose ideas and leadership are really woven throughout the entire experience. We're excited to see them on the plenary sessions and workshops, networking in the youth room, showcasing, demonstrating their learning in our showcase, really being the heart of the conference. And I think this collaboration really enhances what each of us can gain and contribute. It's not a conference where youth voice is just featured. It's foundational. It's where that learning can flow both ways, right? From every attendee, regardless of their role or experience, they can leave inspired, more informed, more connected, to take action and hopefully in new and even more meaningful ways. Um, when I think about why attend, I think it's about tools and access and strategies, and forging those intergenerational connections and across multiple sectors. Um, it's more taking things from a local classroom to global movements. We're able to build more partnerships and inspire and strengthen just beyond our conference walls. And so we know service learning, volunteering, and civic action, they're stronger together. And so I'm really excited that we have the opportunity to bring these two events together and be able to bring this to the larger sector. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Beth, and ask you to talk a little bit more about some of the conference programming that our folks can expect to see.
Yeah. Our theme is the power of volunteering. And so when you think about the 2.5 days of programming that we have at conference, you'll see this theme come to life. We have main stage sessions. So the plenaries that Amy talked about, they bring a lot of inspiration, learning, and connection. And those are the three things, the three reasons most people come to the Points of Light conference is for that learning, to gain inspiration, to be around other change makers, other leaders who share their passions for doing good and doing great things for and with their communities, and for that networking connection. We know that the Points of Light conference is a place for people to gather. We anticipate about 1,500 attendees from all 50 U.S. states. We typically have upwards of 20 countries represented, so it's a true global conference. And the opportunity to meet people who may have similar ideas to you, maybe have different ideas, is really exponential. We have, I mentioned our main stages. We also have workshops. We'll have more than 70 workshops that go into some deeper learning. I know NYLC, we're bringing the lightning talks, the student showcase. We have an exhibit hall where you'll get to meet different organizations and different companies who have services for nonprofit organizations, for young people, for companies. We also offer volunteer experiences. A service project is in the works, so details to come later. But an important aspect of the conference is giving an opportunity for attendees to serve together. We'll also have space for you all, youth room. We're going to do awards. Recognition and recognizing extraordinary volunteers and leaders is a big part of what we do at the conference, and we're excited to bring the National Service Learning Awards alongside our Daily Point of Light Awards. And then, Amy, I'll let you talk about your day of service.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're familiar with the National Service Learning Conference, you know we always have a day of service. We'll be kicking off the conference once again. We're working right now with local partners, and we'll be able to share more about what that will look like in the coming months here. But we're really excited to continue that tradition of a day of service. And as Beth mentioned, some of those elements that you might be familiar with, our student showcase. That's that dedicated space where young leaders can present the impact and results that they've had through their service learning experiences. I always call it like the science fair of the conference, right? It's that poster boards and stories where you can reach the broader conference community. And then Beth also mentioned our lightning talks, that opportunity for more folks to be able to share and what they're doing. So it can be anything from sharing a resource or an idea or your service learning experience, kind of the speed networking of the conference. 20 minutes, people get up and rotate, and then you get to do it all over again 3 times. And we do that a couple of times over the conference. So it's a great place, especially if you're new to presenting and you're not ready to apply for that full workshop. It's a great place to just be able to come in, share your ideas, your impacts, your resources in a very informal, fun, energetic space. And then the youth room also is a great place for networking for young people. Our NYLC's Youth Advisory Council, they put a lot of energy and thought into what that space is going to look like. It's networking, it's fun, it's energizing, and it's not for adults. It is for young people. It is their space, and they have a lot of great connections that come out of their time together in the youth room. So lots of great ways to get involved. You'll see, again, elements of the National Service Learning Conference, and then all of the great programming that Points of Light Conference puts on, all of that coming together. And again, I just want to emphasize youth at the forefront. You're going to see them on the plenary stage. You're going to see them leading workshops. You're going to see the student showcases and the lightning talks. You're going to have the youth room and all of the ways that you can serve and volunteer during the conference. So really young people coming together in teams as they normally do at the National Service Learning Conference, and engaging in something just a little bigger and meeting more people from lots of different sectors. I do want to just also say that I want to encourage folks at this point in time too. Our National Service Learning Award applications are open. And so I know there are so many amazing teachers, after school professionals, nonprofit leaders who are doing wonderful service learning work. And you need to nominate them and recognize them for all of the hard work they're doing. And then also the youth teams who are making such meaningful impacts in their community. So there's the Daily Points of Light Award and the National Service Learning Awards. Let's lift up and celebrate all of the great things that are happening across service and service learning, and celebrate those folks. I'm gonna turn it back over to Beth, I think, and talk a little bit about workshop proposals are open.
Yes, we were so excited to kick off the workshop proposal application process this past Monday. So I know this information is on the NYLC website. It's on the Points of Light website. Thank you for sending the links. The deadline is November 14th, and I will say we are very excited to open this opportunity for young leaders to submit workshop proposals. It's a great opportunity to share your ideas, your solutions, the things that you're working on. You'll see that link in the chat, and that will give you a lot more details. And if you have questions, there's a support at Points of Light. You can reach out to us, and we're happy to answer them. But the deadline to apply is November 14th.
And I just want to underscore, so anyone on the call or who's listening to this recording who reaches out to Amy after the deadline proposal has passed, please do not do that. Get your ideas, get your proposals submitted early and often, so that I don't go, oh, Beth, we missed this person and they really should be presenting. So, like I say, if you're one of those folks who waits until after the deadline and says, Amy, what topic is missing? Don't wait. Reach out to me before the deadline, and we can talk about some of the topics that I might have for you to suggest for submitting your workshop proposal. That workshop proposal deadline comes first, but we also have the showcase and the lightning talk applications are open right now as well. So if you're a young person and you want to do one of the showcases or want to submit a lightning talk, those proposals are due January 7th. So it's, again, your chance to share your expertise, your impact, best practices, and you'll be in front of people from all over the world, as Beth said. So get those applications in early. I also do want to mention that January 7th is also the deadline for the National Service Learning Awards. So again, nominate a youth team, nominate a teacher or an after-school leader or a nonprofit professional that you work with. Let's highlight all of the great work that's happening out there. I know that there are a few opportunities for volunteering on site, Beth. Is there, or and of course, sponsoring. Anything you want to say about that?
Well, we do have volunteers that help support the conference, and there are things from stuffing the registration gift bags that go out to all attendees, to helping with directions during big plenary times. So if you're interested in volunteering, you can reach out to us, and we can share more information.
Awesome. I know volunteers are always just a huge help on site. So encourage you to reach out if that's something that you're interested in. I'm also going to ask Beth for you to share a little bit more about registration, because that looks just a little bit different for folks this year.
Yeah, registration is going to happen on the Points of Light website, and I know we'll put a link in the chat for you. You can go directly to our website. We have a couple of different tiers of registration prices. We are opening what we call a pre-sale opportunity that's going to open November 3rd. So on Monday, from November 3rd through March 31st, that is the best, lowest pricing for the conference. We've added a youth, young adult registration type, and that is for young people 24 years old and younger. And then we also, for the educators on the call or listening, we've got the nonprofit NGO educator government rate, and that's also offered at a slight discount. So registration will open on November 3rd, and I know we'll be sure to get all of that information and those links out to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's an additional benefit for folks who that groups of 5 or more.
Yes.
With that discount, it's a better deal for you through Points of Light than it was with the National Service Learning Conference. So you only need 5 people, not 10. So much. Take advantage of that. Get your teams registered.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Amy.
Yep, absolutely. We do want to open it up for questions. So feel free to put your questions in the chat if you have a specific question. Otherwise, feel free to raise your hand and unmute. Love to answer any specific questions that you have. And I'm going to stop share so we can see people. And I want to thank Bella for sharing all of the links as we were talking. Lots of opportunities to get involved with the conference and to be able to bring teams of young people. Like always, we really encourage people to come and travel together in teams. So do we have any questions? Oh, yes, Joanna.
Hi, I'm Joanna. I'm with the Arizona State Board for Charter Schools, And I was wondering if you had identified a location, or maybe you already said the location of the conference in DC, and if there's going to be hotel information about it. And then that's kind of my first question. The second question is I just wanted to clarify between the workshop proposal and the lightning talks and the are those just, you kept saying young leaders, so I'm not a young leader, but are those only limited to certain age levels or, yeah, that, I just wanted to clarify that piece.
Yeah, Joanna, great questions. I just put in the chat, the Washington Hilton is the conference hotel and venue. We will have a second hotel we'll have a room block there. So we do have special room rates at the Washington Hilton. We'll have a second room block that will open up across the street from the Washington Hilton, and we'll have that information up on our website in the coming weeks. And those rates will be active probably through the beginning of May. So you do have some time, but I would recommend reserving rooms early because we have had our room blocks sell out in past years. And then regarding the call for workshop proposals, that is open to any educator, any nonprofit leader, company, government leader, young leader. So that is a broad call for workshop proposals that is open to any individual.
And same with lightning talks as well. The student showcase, however, is for young people. And you'll see that on our website under the Get Involved on the conference site. But otherwise, lightning talks are open to any age as well.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And Amy, I see the question in the chat. All of the workshops, all of the plenaries, all of the networking opportunities are open to every attendee, and that includes SLC attendees. I think the only private thing that we have is the youth room and that space for young leaders.
Yep. Otherwise, the entire conference is your oyster. You get to experience whatever part of the conference that you want to experience. These are great questions. I think that's also what's really exciting about these two events coming together is that both audiences are going to be able to experience things that perhaps they hadn't had the opportunity to experience at the other conference before. So whether that's like I say, some of the sessions with youth leaders presenting, or hearing directly from young people as thought leaders, or being able to connect with global volunteer experts. Right, we'll have the opportunity to really learn from each other in a much larger sector.
Joanna,
do we offer any scholarships?
We don't have scholarships in 2026 that are specific for youth. We do have a scholarship program that is geared for nonprofit organizations that will open up in February. So that's the scholarship opportunity for this year. If anything changes with any of that, I will let you know.
Any other questions? Wonderful. If at any time you have questions, the websites for both Points of Light and NYLC have lots of information. And if you can't find answers there, please reach out to either organization. We are working together to build something that you won't want to miss this spring. And we're really excited about this partnership opportunity, and we hope that we will see all of you there. Thank you all for joining us to learn more. And if you have questions, again, please reach out. Thank you all so much. And Beth, thank you for being here with us today.
We're super excited. Thanks so much, Amy.
Thank you.